Coming up on Down Under EV Adventures, it's 6 months already with the BYD Atto 3. Let's have a look. Welcome back to Down Under EV Adventures. This is episode 56, and I can hardly believe it's already nearly 6 months since I've had the Atto 3. And what can I say? Straight away I'll say I'm still loving the car. It's a pretty good one. There's a few little bits and pieces which I'll go over which I'm not that keen on, but on the whole I'm pretty happy with the package still. So I'll do some of this video with a voiceover and some of it will be in real time. And to get us going, let's start off with the odometer. So let's have a look inside my dirty car. It's a bit dirty today. I've had some rain, but not enough to clean it off. Anyway, so you can see. Let's have a look at the odometer reading. So we're up to 15,437. But of course, remembering that this car was bought as a demo model. So it had around, I think it was around 7,000. I'll put the correct amount on the screen. So now we'll start off with our review proper. I'm pleased to say I've had trouble-free motoring. The only issue I've had here, you can see on the screen, is a torn sunshade. I'm talking about the sunshade that covers up the sunroof, the glass roof. And for some reason I went to use it for the first time and it seemed to come out of its tracks and tear. I have taken it in. I can get it replaced under warranty. So I'll show you a little bit more of that now in the real time when I filmed. The only issue I've had is with the sunshade. So you just saw some photos I put up on the screen there. I've just got this temporary sunshade which I found in my shed just to keep the sun off at the moment. It's going to be a couple of weeks before I can get it repaired, 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not sure when I'm going to get it done because obviously I have to go to Perth. And that is the only thing that I've had an issue with since I bought the car, I'm pleased to say. A few days since I've come back to Kalgoorlie and you can see there the economy showing 23.7. That's pretty typical for me. I would vary between 22 and 25. Just really, it's highly variable, but I'm getting in excess of 200 kilometers towing the trailer, probably 220, 230 if I was to use the full tank of electrons, but I pretty much just top the tank up 2 or 3 times a week, and that's with my solar system, just depending on when I get good solar. There is no Frunk. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll know that. So I just keep in here. This is a type 2 to type 2 cable, which I keep in there. It's got a little bit of water because I actually just hose down the engine bay. It's not leaking or anything. But yeah, they could easily engineer a Frunk. I wonder if they'll do that for, the next generation of Attos. Who knows? But you can easily get an aftermarket Frunk if you need one. Now, I'm probably in the minority, I know, but I absolutely love these scales on the back of the car. So I guess the world would be pretty boring if everyone was the same. I know a lot of people hate them. Some people just don't like them, but I think it looks amazing. I'm in the camp that I absolutely love it. I think it really complements the rear styling of the car. So yeah, I love it. Perth last week, I got a loan car. I got an Atto 3 loan car, the same colour as mine, or lack of colour. And I noticed that they'd removed all the badges. So not just the Build Your Dreams, but also the Atto badge and the little EV badge there. And I have to say, I was surprised at how good it looked. I'd never actually seen one in the flesh with the badges removed. Now I absolutely love the rear styling. I think it looks fantastic. But I'm now even considering maybe taking off the Build Your Dreams badges because it looks so clean and elegant. I don't think I would ever remove the Atto 3 badge. I think I'm happy to keep that. And even the EV badge doesn't bother me. Proud to have an EV. But I was surprised at how good it looked. So anyway, if I decide to do that, I haven't decided yet. If I decide to do that, you'll be sure to hear about it on the channel, and I'll definitely film that so you can have a look. But yeah, I was quite surprised that BYD in Osborne Park have a loan car, unless it was a private car that that they were using as a loan car, and the owner decided to remove it. But anyway, the rest of the styling, as you know, I love this little BYD design. I think that looks good. The wing mirrors look pretty good as well. And I'll talk about the lights in another section, but I think the lights also look very, very good. The wheel covers look good too. Unfortunately, I got a bit of a scrape on mine. A little tiny scrape there. Actually, a couple of scrapes. No real dings on the car. So yeah, I do like the styling, and I think they've done a fantastic job with it. Now, another thing which I think they've done an exceptional job on is the lighting. So both the exterior lights and the interior lights. I love the light bar which goes across the back, which I mentioned in my 3-month review. And also, of course, the headlights, which I think look quite stylish as well. And in fact, the front of the car has sort of grown on me a little bit too. I sort of more prefer the rear styling, but I think the front looks pretty good too. I like it better than I used to anyway. Now, the one thing that I really absolutely have always loved is the interior lighting. So I think it looks really, really classy. Even just where they've put the lights in particular, I think look really good. Those door handles, I just adore those door handles. And you know, you can set it to different colors, which I also showed on my 3-month review. So that's just a matter of going into the menu and selecting, you know, you've got quite a range of colors, but you can see all the colors on the steering wheel look pretty good. And yeah, whatever color you choose, it looks very nice. So there you go, there's the menu lights, and you can just select all the different colors there, and then you just have to wait a couple of seconds, and hey presto, you've got a different color scheme, which, you know, like I said, it looks very, very classy. So, you know, they've done a fantastic job. Yeah, love the interior lighting. So welcome to my messy car. I use it as a work vehicle, so I've got quite a bit of stuff in there at all times, and I'm fairly happy with the size. I mean, a few more centimeters would have been nice in the rear, but you know, for this class of vehicle, it's pretty much what you can expect, and you know, you can't have everything. Now, of course, the Atto 3 does not come with a spare tyre, so I invested some money and bought myself a space saver spare tyre, which is rated to 80 kilometers. You can go back and have a look at that episode if you liked. It shows you how I fitted it to the rear of the car there. But yeah, you know, because I live in a rural area and it's frequently many kilometers between towns in the goldfields and the wheat belt, which is where I travel a lot, I think it's a great idea to have a spare tire. And being a space saver, the back still sits nice and comfortably in there. So I got that shortly after I bought the car. There's plenty of places you can get them, but I'll put a link in the description of where I got mine from. Otherwise, if you do some research, you'll easily be able to get some more information. When I first bought the car, one thing I did straight away was also put some new tyres on it. Now, they're wearing pretty well, and I think they're not a bad tyre. The main reason I did it is because I'm towing, and I like to be nice and secure and safe, especially if it rains. Not that it really rains that much where I live, but nevertheless, I'm fairly happy with it. I can't really comment on the economy, whether it made a difference. Suffice to say that driving my wife's car, who's still got the original tyres on it, and mine, there's not any real difference in the economy as far as I'm aware anyway. So yeah, but the main reason I changed, like I said, is because I tow. And if you are new to the channel and you want to know how the economy is, especially towing as well, you can go back and have a look. I've done a couple of different episodes about that. Now, I did have the tow bar originally fitted at a place in Rockingham, but I'm not going to name them because they were absolutely useless and did a pretty crappy job. The tow bar was okay, but the electrical work was definitely not up to scratch. So I had to go to another place, and a friend recommended to go to Towlink in Wangara. So I went up there, a little bit out of the way, but geez, they did a fabulous job and fixed up all the mistakes that this other place did. So yeah, if you're in Perth and you need a place for a tow bar, I can highly recommend Towlink in Wangara. Now here's a little bit of the tablet which I filmed earlier, and I think the tablet is of very high quality. The response time is excellent, so when you press it, it's almost instantaneous. So they've got some great hardware going on there. Now I dislike the lane keeping on it, like many people. I think it's not up to scratch, and unfortunately, you have to turn it off every time. So I'm just showing you there on the menu how you do that. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't stay off, so I'm just turning off the car now. There's the upgrade, which I'm not upgrading. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But anyway, you pretty much have to turn it, or you do have to turn it off every single time. So here I've gone and restarted the car, gone into the ADAS, and you see the lane keeping is on again. So it's not a very good system. I found it can be a bit jerky with the steering wheel, and that can cause problems. And in fact, I think it can be a little bit dangerous. So like many of the modern safety features, they've actually defeated the purpose by making it less safe. So some of the other features, for some reason, the blind spot, you can actually keep it off. So I tow, so I actually can't have the blind spot on because the car detects the trailer as another car, which can be problematic with warnings and so on. And you've got another lane assist here to keep you centered, and that one also you can turn off, thankfully, and does stay off. So I don't know why these ones do stay off, but the worst one, which is the lane keeping, you can't actually keep off permanently. You have to do it every time. It's usually not an issue driving around town. It's mainly on a long trip. So, these are the bings and bongs that you have to work out when you drive a car. The cruise control you have to press every time when you drive. Again, it's probably a safety feature, but I can't see why. You'd have to be pretty stupid to not be able to function something like that. But all in all, the tablet itself, gee, they've done a fantastic job with it. They've really, like I said, nailed the hardware, and most of the software on it is pretty good. The graphics are great. You can do a lot with it, the graphics are really superb. When you have the reversing and the reversing cameras come on, um, there's just so many different cameras, and they're very, very clear. So I think, they've done a fantastic job. That's all I can say, really. So well done, BYD, for the tablets. Okay, so on to things I don't like. So I don't like the latest update, which my wife has put on her car. I don't like the noises. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of some of them, or you can't reduce the volume. I think noises need to be subtle and sophisticated. We're supposed to be driving EVs. We're supposed to be stepping up from petrol cars and diesel cars. I won't go into them in detail in this episode because I've already covered it quite extensively in the 3-month review, including a comparison against my wife's car, some of the noises in hers. So if you were interested, you can go back and have a look at what I mean. So if you don't own an Atto and you're not aware of it, you can have a look. If you do have an Atto and you have upgraded and you like the noises, well, that's fine. Like I said, it would be a pretty boring world if everyone agreed, but I think the noises shouldn't be too intrusive, primarily because they should be designed as a warning. You want something that's different in the car as you're driving along. We didn't have these sounds for years. You don't need a sound when you put a car into gear. That's just stupid. And but anyway, like I said, I won't go into any more than that today about that topic. Now, the other thing I'm not that keen on is the fact that it's only a front-wheel drive. So it's only a two-wheel drive car. Love it to be an all-wheel drive, but that's not what we're getting with this car. That's fine. It does the job. But I certainly feel more secure when I go off-road if it is an all-wheel drive. And because I'm towing as well, it's been proven that driving with an all-wheel drive car that's in constant all-wheel drive, like a Subaru or one of those Mitsubishis where you can put it into all-wheel drive, they are much better and safer generally and handle better when you are towing. So my next car will be an all-wheel drive. So yeah, it's I could live with it, I guess, if I wasn't towing and I was just using it around town. But I'll just have to make do with it, I guess. But yeah, everyone knows that my next car will definitely be an all-wheel drive. I'm pleased to say, though, there's not much I really don't like about the car. And if I was being really picky, like I said, you know, just a little bit extra space in the boot would be nice. But anyway, not to worry. And I thought I might finish off by just having a quick look at the sound system inside the Atto 3. I haven't shown so far is the sound system. So I'm just going to play a few seconds of some music just so you can hear how good the quality is. I won't play it for more than that because I don't want to get a copyright strike on this video. But have a listen to it. I'll just play it for a few seconds. So there you go. So it's an excellent sound system. I mean, really for, you know, a lower end EV, again, they've done a great job. So yeah, good marks for the sound system and the speakers. And of course, one thing I absolutely love, and I always fail to mention, is I love not paying for petrol. Yes, I use my home solar system to charge both my wife and I's car, and I would say we can probably get about 80% maybe for free. This will be the first winter, so it'll be interesting to see how we go. But yeah, we pretty much just pick and choose when we can charge. It's more problematic for my wife. To find time is a bit easier for me because I just work part-time. But yeah, I just plug in when there's some sun, and I love driving past petrol stations. Don't know what petrol is in your neck of the woods, but here in Kalgoorlie it's well over $2 a litre now. So just about to wrap up here, and I had a few people ask me then, so what would my next car be then, bearing in mind that I'd love to get an all-wheel drive, both for the security and, you know, this added performance as well. Well, I can tell you some of the cars I'm interested in. So the Skoda Enyaq looks fantastic, quite a nice large car. There's the Kia EV5 coming to Australia later this year. The Tesla Model Y, of course, an all-wheel drive version. There's the Volkswagen ID4. And finally, I would not pass up a good offering from BYD itself. If they produce something as well, then I would consider buying that as well. So there would be my choices, I guess. And of course, there may be other ones I haven't even learned about yet as well. So to sum up, I'm still enjoying the BYD Atto 3. I think it is a compelling package still for its price point. I've noticed that Tesla's dropped their price of their Model Y quite a bit, and gee, they're not actually that much more now than an Atto 3. I think there might be some people considering it, and you know, it could be that in Australia, BYD may well have to drop the price of their Atto 3 for a few $1,000s, which would be great for, you know, new people coming to the brand and who are interested in that vehicle. Because otherwise, if Tesla drop it for another few $1,000s, I think that you know, BYD could potentially lose sales for that. But anyway, in terms of myself, I'm still very happy with the car. I'm happy to keep it. Like I said, I can't see myself getting rid of it for at least another year. But we'll see what happens when some of the new models come out, and hopefully can go and check them out. Alright, that wraps up the episode, my 6-month review. Thank you very much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it, and let us know if you've got an Atto 3. How's it going with your car? Are you still enjoying it? I hope you're not having any problems with it. Alright, that's it for today's episode. As usual, take care out there on the roads, and we'll see you very soon. I've got some really interesting content coming up. Okay then, bye for now.